Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't wanna miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.
All right, what's good, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Wire Sports Media. All right, so today is Monday, Motivational Monday, but I have a good one for y'all today. So, ever since the Wall Street Journal, Sean McLean came out with that article about Caitlin Clark's civil rights being violated by the WNBA, it seems like it has taken a lot of legs and a lot of media attention. And as one, I reported on there. Several other content creators reported on there. Um, and it's been going around on Twitter X for a hot minute. And then you had Stephen A. Smith come out, started talking about it a little bit here and there. Um, and then he went on First Take, started talking about it. But a lot of people was like, trying to downplay it, trying to say that Caitlin Clark's civil rights wasn't being violated. The thing she does the same thing to other people in the league. But nevertheless, now we already know the history of Caitlin Clark and how she's been treated in the W, even that the massive financial, economical what she brought to the league. And then you got to think about this. In recent times, you have players from one team that actually come out. Yesterday, Marina Mabrey came out saying that she did not mean to do. She overreacted to what she did to Caitlin Clark. Then a few weeks before that, Tina Charles was on Sue Bird podcast, and she was talking about how she didn't do what she did. But we already know. We've seen the video. We've seen the picture, the photos of it. So it's no use to rehash the whole history thing. We just know what it is now. Ever since that Wall Street Journal article come out, you started seeing a lot of people start backsliding. You started seeing a lot of people start singing a whole different tune or trying to act differently. Now, we know Caitlin Clark has not played yet. She's been out for over 3 to 4 weeks now. And we wondering what it's going to be like when she comes back. Are these players going to continue to treat her the same way? Are they going to physically assault her on the court? Are the referees is not going to call these plays, or she's going to get the fouls that she deserves? It's going to be very interesting to watch since this. Now, we already know who Bill O'Reilly is. If y'all don't know who Bill O'Reilly is, then hey, y'all might need to do some research. One thing about Bill O'Reilly, if once he get hold to a story, he's like a pit bull. He's going to continue to talk about it. Talk about it. Now, Bill O'Reilly had the Sean McLean on there, who wrote the article on Wall Street Journal, on his show. And I'm gonna let y'all listen to what went down.
Clark is being fouled at a record rate. Some of them are brutal fouls, and a lot of the refs are looking the other way. And the women fouling her are doing it on purpose. Now, I can't read minds, but it does have a racial aspect to this. But I could be wrong. Joining us now from England is Sean McLean. He's the founder of Origin Advocacy. He wrote a piece in a Wall Street Journal about all this that caught my attention. Number one, what's Origin Advocacy? What is that?
Origin Advocacy is a Washington, D.C. based consulting and lobbying firm. We help clients figure out how to best engage the federal government.
Okay, so you're basically a consultant to various individuals. Is there an ideology attached to you?
So I've worked in government for nearly 15 years. So I'm very limited government. I'm conservative. I've worked for Marshall Blackburn, Ted Cruz, and in the Trump administration, including in the Trump White House.
Okay. Now, what caught your attention about Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark has had a seismic impact on the WNBA ever since she first joined. Merchandise sales increased over 600%, league app engagement over 600%, subscriptions, the league passed over 400%, And the team she plays for, the Indiana Fever, tripled in value. But despite all that success that she's immediately had, the league has basically looked the other way as she's been targeted on a weekly basis, and that targeting is putting her career at risk.
Well, tell me what targeting means. What does that mean?
So she is taking on harder fouls and at a higher rate than any of her peers. So it turns out that in her rookie season, she absorbed 17% of all flagrant fouls or hard fouls, more than double the rate of any of her peers. This is not something that you would see occur to any other top star in any other league. And I think a lot of fans are scratching their heads of why the league is allowing this to continue, especially given the economic impact that she's having on the league, which they've so desired for decades.
Yeah, but you're not scratching your head, Sean. What do you think it is?
Right after she was drafted and heading into her rookie year, Asia Wilson, who is a three-time MVP of the league, she's won the championship for the Las Vegas Aces. She came out and addressed the attention that Caitlin Clark is getting, and she said it's absolutely has to do with race. And then, quote, it boils her blood when people try and say that it's not about race. And so, unfortunately, it seems like there's a lot of commentary that's being made by players when they're on camera and they know reporters are watching that show that there is a racial element to this.
Or the black players don't want a white superstar? Is that what you're saying?
So, as we listen to that, because I got another part to it, as you listen to that, we already know it's racial component, but it's the opposite of it. Whereas Caitlin's white, the players in the league is majority black. But do you still have some white players that are, physically assault her too, like the J.C. Sheldons, the Marina Mabreys of the world, but there's no superstar in the league that should be taking a beating like Caitlin Clark has been taking a beating. It doesn't make sense. It's crazy because the fact of the matter is that Caitlin Clark, she's a goodwill person. Is she innocent? That's not me for the determine. I just watch her on the court. I don't know who she is in person, but at the same time, she's a competitor. Yeah, things that happen on the court, but the level of physicality that she's taking, being kneed in the groin, being pushed down, being poked in the eye a few times here and there. Come on, man, being knocked blindsided. That's not basketball. That is not basketball. And like I said before, this story is going to continue to take legs. And it's only a matter of time for more media attention. Even Fox News came on today and talk about it. I'll get to that in a minute, but I want to give you the second part of this Bill O'Reilly interview.
You said the federal government should get involved with this because Ms. Clark's civil rights are being violated as she is targeted on the court, the basketball court, and no one's protecting her. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. I know a lot of people say it's sports, we should expect hard fouls, and I agree with that. I'm a sports fan. I like seeing competitive play, but unfortunately, facts are stubborn things, and the statistical disparity and the amount Caitlin Clark is being fouled compared to any of her peers in the league, or the treatment that she receives compared to any other top stars in any other leagues, there's no comparison to it. And so she's facing a hostile work environment. Unfortunately, it appears that it does impact a protected class, her race, as evidenced by quotes by players in the league. And there is a federal element here where the government can intervene, and we've already seen this. One, the federal government gets involved in sports all the time. We've seen it with MLB and steroids, NFL concussions, USA gymnastics and Dr. Larry Nassar. And even just this past year, President Trump and his administration have really leaned in to fixing disparities at universities and within the NCAA, within fencing, swimming, gymnastics, and has been receiving direct results.
All right, but this is the first time race has really gotten to this level. Why do you think the referees don't protect her more?
I think that's a great question. And I think the one key that, the 17% of flagrant fouls that she receives versus others, that's just based on calls that have actually been, that the referees actually call. The biggest problem here is that they don't call a lot of these fouls that are committed against her. Rebecca Lobo, an analyst and former player, has pointed that out. And so if there's an actual audit of the past season of all the missed calls, I actually think the disparity would be much greater than 17%.
Has any player in
So my thoughts is this: if Congress was to get involved, how far would this go? Would they get involved? How long would they let this go? It all determines when Caitlin Clark comes back. If, because I'm surely people's going to continue to watch it, watch this and pay attention to it. So if she comes back at some point in this season and teams start going after her more and still continue to physically harm her, I think in the off season there could be something done. You just see that Jim Jordan, Jim Jordan just subpoenaed all the commissioners for all the major sports leagues about what's going on with the the packaging for viewership. You know, like all of these companies like ESPN, they all trying to get in the streaming business, and consumers is having a hard time paying for all of this. And you know, we got stuff going on in the world right now. So I'm sure if Jim Jordan is subpoenaing all the commissioners to come and testify over something dealing with American dollar, I'm sure they eventually get involved if Caitlin Clark comes back and she continue to not get calls or she continue to get roughed up by certain players in the league. It's going to be something to watch. Now take a watch with this clip about Fox News, and then I'll wrap up my video for the day.
Thing because I don't want to get myself in trouble. Okay, so she also brings finance. You talked about the ratings, but there's financial value in that, and economists estimate that she has been able to bring alone generate an estimated $875 million to $1 billion in economic value to the league. So, like, would anyone even care about the WNBA if not for Caitlin Clark?
And by the way, the quality's great, best in the world. I love that anytime women's athletics goes forward, I'm enthused about it. But the WNBA has done a horrible job marketing. They don't go to CYOs. They don't put in the blue collar work to rise a league to bring a league up. I mean, even the NFL had to do that. You go to Sandlot games, you make appearances, you let the community get to know you. I mean, the WNBA store, since not just her jersey, sales are up 400% of WNBA jerseys just because of her presence. But her presence is resented by about 80% of the other players.
We spent so much time, though, talking about the drama, and the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese drama goes back to their Iowa LSU days. So it's not like that was new. However, we've also seen other players have this like mean girl behavior in the WNBA. Is that something that was happening already and we just didn't know about it because now we're paying attention, or is that just self-generated?
I don't know if there was another superstar in the league, Cheryl Swoops or Rebecca Lobo, early on when it first launched, that people really resented them because they had just won the Olympic gold in '96. They took that momentum and formed the WNBA. We kind of knew Lisa Leslie, Jen Rosati, we knew Rebecca Lobo, and we knew UConn was selling out 18,000 over it. All of a sudden, women's sports were mattering. They go to the Olympics, they get gold, they launch this league, and it just fell like a rock. They were unable to sustain the momentum. I'm not sure it was happening because they had nobody to resent as much as they did this kid from Iowa who went to Indiana and revitalized the sport. It's one of the craziest storylines I've had a chance to cover.
And there you have it. It's, to me, I think that when you look at this in a whole nutshell of everything, I think this is not going to stop. To be honest with you, it's not going to stop because another guy on X said the same thing. Take a listen. Oh well, guess I can't. I guess I can't worry about it right now. But anyway, so what's boiled down to is that the fact of the matter is that with Fox News getting involved now, Fox News, they try to sugarcoat it a little bit. They try to hide most of the things and stuff like that. I mean, instead of calling for what it is, but we already know that. To me personally, I just feel like Fox News could do a better job. What I'm waiting for, like, well, I forgot the girl name, Riley, whatever her name is. I can't wait for her to get a hold of it because I know she's going to push it more. I'm waiting for somebody like CNN get a hold to it, MSNBC News, all of these other outlets that's going to really get a hold of this, and it's going to be more national than it is. It's just the first tip of the iceberg. Bill O'Reilly, Stephen A. Smith, Bill O'Reilly, now Fox. Let's see who else grabs a hold of this story because, like I said before, this ain't going nowhere no time soon. And it's going to be interesting because if Caitlin Clark comes back and she's continue to get assaulted, brutalized, and stuff like that, it's going to garner more attention going into the next season if there be a season with the CBN situation. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. Until the next episode, you know what it is. Because if you don't know, now you know. Live Wire Sports, and I'm out.
Hey, so amazing. You see how they playing? Live Wire, it's all about sports and entertainment. You don't want to miss it, so official like you never seen. Keep it going till the whistle blowing from the referee. Everything from highlights and stats. You know that we gotta run it back, whether on the field or the court. You know that this is where it's at. Subscribe, no delaying. This is Live Wire, sports and entertainment. Let's go.